Yo, have you ever wondered where sagging came from? Where did the idea of men and boys sagging, showing, exposing their butt cheeks to another man or to the public come from? Right? Why does the industry promote that? We're gonna talk about. Yo, we need to have a serious conversation. We need to sit down as a people and really discuss why do we allow or feel it's acceptable for black men and black boys to go to a corner store, to go to the car wash, to jump on stage and they butt cheeks exposed, hanging out, booty exposed, showing on full display, pants pulled down to the knees. When did women allow this or feel that that's for them, that a man having his butt exposed is somehow attractive to them? Because I don't see how that's for a female, or how a female could be attracted to that. Maybe you're attracted to his money, or you like the way that man look or that guy look, and you're not saying nothing. But we need to talk about it. We need to speak up. That's not cool, and we need to rein back in the youth. Because yo, if you into that and you like exposing yourself, and you know your homies is looking or whatever, because there's a lot of men that do that for that reason, whether you know it or not, whether you accept it or not. There's a lot of people that are bisexual on the low, and they like that type of thing. So if you like that, that's cool. That's your life. But this is the issue. It's influencing our children and our youth. And again, there are young boys that are being preyed on and groomed by niggas that come out of jail, by men that come out of the penitentiary, and they try to be the big homie. They try to be the OG. They try to put them in the studio. But you don't know what their intentions are, their motivations are. And they got that little boy sagging. And they got some weed in his pocket and some shoes on his feet. It's a lot that going on that needs to be discussed and that needs to be talked about. And it's time we had that conversation. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification button. So when I drop new content, you will be notified as soon as it's dropped. Now back to the subject at hand. So how did this sneak into our community? A lot of that has to come from, or has to do with the media and the industry. You know what I'm saying? I can take it back to Kris Kross, and with my generation, we was all turning up, jumping to the track, jump. And on that track, well, on that album, right, they had this track called Way of the Rhyme. And in that track, it goes, hat to the back and my pants keep sagging. TLC did a video about it. They called it Hat to the Back. And so the whole track was about, well, not the whole track, but that line was about sagging, keeping your pants low. So that's how I was introduced to it. And I've been a victim of the same situation we've all been a victim to. You know, some of y'all might not have sagged, but you know somebody that has. So I've been a victim myself, even in my adult age, you know what I'm saying? But when God dealing with you, when the Most High deals with you, when he shows you things and you have a spirit of discernment and you see what's going on, you can't do that no more. And not only that, not only do you stop doing that, you pull back and you change your mind state. You got to inform and educate the youth. We got to bring the reins in. There's people, there's men that have came out of jail, that's came out of the penitentiary, and they grooming and preying on these young boys, period. You know, again, whether you know that or whether you don't know that, that's happening in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why this situation, this inappropriate way of dressing has been allowed to thrive in our neighborhoods. It's because you got men that actually want that to keep thriving. You feel what I'm saying? They hook up or they get with females really to get with their children. There's a lot of pedophilia going on, but we don't talk about that. We got to talk about that. The whole spirit, the whole energy of sagging is based in sexualization of black boys. It goes back in time into the late 1800s. In 1839, you know, you had a company called Black Americana. And again, whether you realize it or not, it's time to, you know, dig up some history and go back into that and study that. Black Americana was a postcard company. And what Black Americana did in their postcards is they depict or made satires of black boys and black girls, black men and black women, of pickaninnies, sambos, you know, racial stereotypes. And in those racial stereotypes, usually these black individuals that they were making fun of or mockery of had their butt cheeks out. Their underwear was pulled down and you saw their entire butt. You know what I'm saying? This is the true origin of sagging. It's built in racial stereotypes by our oppressors, by white men that were mocking and creating satires of black people. These postcards and these stereotypes, okay, they were making comical situations, racial slants, demeaning racial slants, minstrel like comical situations. So these were like comic strips. You know what I'm saying? It's like looking up in the newspaper and you have the comic strip right there. That's what was put on these postcards, and they were sold. And then you had ads. There's this cream of wheat ad where you got the black boy. I think he's trying to get away from this dog. Looks like a pit, and the pit is chewing at his butt and is ripping his overalls open, right? So that his butt is kind of hanging out. It's being exposed. He's being sexualized on this cream of wheat ad. The child, the black boy, is being sexualized. His butt is hanging out. So this is back in the Jim Crow era. This is back in the late 1800s, where white oppression not only oppressed us, but it sexualized our children. It sexualized our boys. It objectified the backside of black men and black women and black boys, right? That's sagging. You have that same spirit, that same imagery in hip hop, in the industry. That's not street. That's sexualizing black boys. And what, like I said, the root of that is a man looking at a black boy, or a man looking at a black man, his backside, his butt cheeks. That's where it comes from. That's what it means. And like I said, there's a lot of men that know that. There's a lot of men that's cool with that. They don't mind another man looking at their butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? It's probably why some of them do that. And you got some that's just caught up in the hype. They're a victim of it. They think it's popular. You know what I'm saying? It's part of popular culture, mainstream culture. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we just do it because everybody else do it. We're following the lead. But then you got a segment of people that do it because they know what they're doing. You got a segment of brothers that come out of jail and they prey on young boys. They pedophiles. You got some that's bisexual. And they, you know what I'm saying? They advertising to one another. This isn't cool. We got to speak out about this. It's not cool at all. And I want people to know you have imageries by the same company, Black Americana. You got figurines where the string is coming out of the black boy's butt, right? It's coming out of his anus. They are publicizing and objectifying and sexualizing in figurines a black child's anus and butt cheeks, right? And you see the same thing on these stages in hip hop. These same rappers sexualizing and objectifying they buttocks, they booties, right? That's not for a woman. It's never been for a female. It's been for a man to look at another man. And it's rooted in racial hatred towards blacks and sexualizing blacks, sexualizing black men and black boys. You feel what I'm saying? I'm even like looking at this. This is this cartoon book, or this is, I'm not sure if it's a Sambo book. Look like a Sambo book to me. So I'm looking at this book, and you see the black child. That's a Sambo, right? He's depicted as this pickaninny, and he's walking, and he's not really paying attention, but to the tiger, there's this tiger right behind him. He's like right at the black child's booty, right? And he's licking his lips. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a real book, children's book. This was a children's book. This is sick and disgusting. The tiger licking his lips, right? And we already know what the tiger is licking his lips for. So this same imagery and spirit and sickness, we see it in mainstream culture. This shouldn't be cool. I shouldn't have to go to a corner store, or my mama shouldn't have to go to the corner store, nobody. And you got somebody pumping gas and their whole butt is out. Like, who is that for, player? Like, who is that for? What is that for? You know what I'm saying? Have you been conditioned to think that that is acceptable? Then it's time to recondition, and it's time for real men and real men of God, real men of Yah, sons of the Most High, to stand up and speak out and educate. That's what this video is for. I want y'all to understand what Black Americana was. I want y'all to understand, you know what I'm saying, the roots of this. I want y'all to understand that there are men that preying on young boys that do that. That this ain't street, this ain't gangster. It's time to protect our youth. That's what I make these videos for. You see what I'm saying? And again, everybody that participates in this is not guilty. Some people don't honestly know. They're not educated enough. I was ignorant myself. But common sense, you get to a point where you sit down and you think, you know what I'm saying, what was cool for a woman, you feel me, when you go in the club and you checking her out and you looking at her butt, you feel what I'm saying, you want to take her home. How is that same thing that was cool for a woman now being attributed to a man? Like, how is men doing that? Like, they showcasing and showing off the shape of their backside. That's not cool. You have to know that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And half of these little dances that these rappers is doing look like they twerking. But I'm not here to judge or whatever. I'm just here to point out the obvious. We got to change. We got to pull in the reins, you know what I'm saying? And we got to save our youth. So again, that's all I have for this video. I might have a story time to follow this up, but I want y'all to just pay attention. You know, there's something else I'm gonna leave y'all to, and I'm gonna show you how the industry is very sick and perverted. There is this video, a Shirley Temple video, right? It's called A Kid in Africa. And in this video, right, a kid in Africa, Shirley Temple, she goes to Africa, right? So they got these black boys in this black and white video. And these young black boys, right, are gulping on gasoline. And that gasoline, right, as they're pumping gasoline, it looks like a penis is being inserted in that child's mouth, in that boy's mouth, right? And this is way back with Shirley Temple. So you can't tell me that with Ray of the Rhyme, with Chris Cross, and with all these gangsters, you know what I'm saying, taking the same imagery that Black Americana was using, that, you know what I'm saying, the same producers and executives that was behind the Shirley Temple A Kid in Africa was using, where you got gasoline pipes or gasoline pump in the mouth of a young black boy, and it looks like he's sucking on somebody's organ or genitalia. That's sick. You can't tell me that that was not intentional, and that the industry and that mainstream media is not secretly putting that imagery into the media, into our television, into our films, into our music. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that. And it goes back as far as Shirley Temple, A Kid in Africa. As you can see, those black boys, what they were doing with the gas pump, you know, so there's a lot going on. But anyway, this is a part 1 to that video. If y'all want me to make another part 2, then comment below. Let's get the discussion started, and I'll probably follow up with another video. But anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And until then, I will see you guys next time.